Good morning, Year 3 and 4. I hope you're well and that you've had a good weekend and that you're ready to start this week's learning. Our reading focus for this week is going to be Inference, and I'm about to share with you a short PowerPoint to remind you what we mean by the word inference. So what is inference? Inference is reading between the lines. Not all the information that we need when we're reading is going to be directly stated in the text. It's our job to look for clues for any questions that we might need the answers for. We can make inferences from pictures or text, and you're going to be having a go with both at some point this week. When we're making inferences, it's really important that we find evidence to support what we're saying. We need you to be detectives. You need to look for clues to support the answers that you're giving, and these can be words, phrases, or even pictures. So let's have a look at this picture below. I'm going to make an inference. I'm going to infer that the child in this picture is feeling unhappy or upset. So what clues can I see that support my theory? Well, I can see that there's tears underneath their eyes, which gives me the impression that they've been crying. Usually when a child at this age has been crying, it means that they're upset. Therefore, I found evidence to support my theory and my inference that this child is upset or unhappy. Time for you to have a try. I'm about to ask you some questions. You're going to need a little bit of time to think about the answers, so feel free to pause the video and start it again when you're ready to hear the answers. So who is in the picture? I can say that I think that the picture is a mountaineer. What clues are there to support it? Well, it looks like he's standing on something quite tall and rocky. There are clouds behind him, which means he's quite high up, and I can see other mountains in the distance. So there's my evidence to support my thinking that this picture is a mountaineer. Is it hot or cold in the mountains? Well, I can see that the person in the picture is wearing a woolly hat and a coat. I wouldn't really wear a woolly hat and a coat if it was warm in the summer, so I'm going to make the presumption that the person in this picture is quite cold. Therefore, it's probably cold up in the mountains. How do you think the mountaineer is feeling? Well, there's nobody else around them. They've got their hands in their pockets and their heads looking down. From that, I'm going to make an assumption that maybe they're feeling a little bit lonely. I found evidence to support my inferences from the picture. We can also do the same with text. Samir had never seen so many fish before. He looked around at the huge tanks and could see hundreds of fish, crabs, shrimp, and all other amazing creatures completely surrounding him. He never thought he could feel like he was completely underwater, yet still be completely dry. Looking at this text, where do you think Samir is? Well, Samir is surrounded by fish, crabs and shrimp, which tells us that there's water around. But it tells us that he's dry, so he can't be underwater, which means he needs to be somewhere like an aquarium, where he can be surrounded by fish that are in tanks and he stays dry. How do we know? We've just said that he's dry and he's surrounded by fish, crabs and shrimps, so therefore he's going to be at an aquarium. So remember, not everything's going to be directly stated in the text. It's your job to look for clues in the picture or text and find evidence to support your answer. Good luck with this week's learning, Year 3 and 4. We'll speak to you soon.